Independence Day or the end of the New World Order? It's 5 and 10 from Skywatch TV. 5 things you need to know in about 10 minutes for Thursday, April 3rd, 2025. I'm Derek Gilbert, once again in the house today as we've got more heavy rain here in the Ozarks. It is heading off to the north and east, as did yesterday's weather. We're seeing more on in the forecast for tomorrow and Friday and Saturday. So we are looking at potentially historic flooding across the Mid-South, the Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley over the next few days. If you're in the path of the storms, please prepare, take precautions, and be wise. If there's water across the roadway, turn around instead of trying to drive through. Item number 5 today, and this will be the focus of today's program, at Sharon's suggestion, because I think this is important to get our heads around since the media is fixated on it. Independence Day. Did President Trump save the United States from economic ruin at the hands of our foreign trade partners, or is he going to bring down the American economy? Wednesday afternoon in the Rose Garden, President Trump announced what he called a Declaration of Economic Independence, a baseline tariff of 10% on all imported goods into the United States. For countries that have erected pretty high barriers to American products into their countries, President Trump announcing essentially tariffs equal to about half of the trade-weighted tariffs being charged on American goods going into those countries. For China, that would be 34%. Products from the European Union being charged a 20% tariff rate, 24% on Japanese goods, 10% on goods from the UK, South Korea 25%, Thailand 36%, Switzerland 31%. Again, those rates about half of what American manufacturers are being charged to ship into those countries. So as President Trump said, we're being kind. But that's not what we're hearing from the media. Now, Mexico and Canada not on this list, as the United States will continue to exempt products from those countries that are compliant with the USMCA, a trade agreement between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. This, by the way, this list of tariffs also includes a 25% tariff on all imported automobiles. A lot of so-called American automobiles are being manufactured in Canada and Mexico, and those will be subject to these 25% tariffs. Topic number 4, heads explode as expected. Democrats and the legacy media, but I repeat myself, came out swinging after Trump's press conference at the Rose Garden, claiming that what Trump is doing will cause grave harm to the American economy and to American consumers. We'll be paying higher prices for everything. This is really not a surprise. Anything one political party does, the other party comes out swinging, claiming that it's going to lead to apocalyptic consequences, fire, brimstone, dogs and cats living together. Don't believe it. Calm down a little bit. The only winners under the current system, where the world charges American manufacturers and service providers more to do business in their countries than we're charging them, are the bankers and industrialists who have lined their pockets by hollowing out the American middle class. This is why we've shipped our manufacturing overseas to China and now to other countries like Myanmar and Cambodia and Bangladesh. It's because the people who own those corporations are making them in places where workers don't earn anywhere near what American workers make, and then pocketing the profits themselves. But this leads to some very difficult situations for the United States, and why President Trump is doing this. Talk about that in just a moment. Item number 3 today, stocks tank. The immediate consequences of President Trump's announcements Wednesday afternoon is that stocks are taking a beating as investors are afraid of what this might mean. After the opening, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500 all took a nosedive. By 11 a.m. Eastern time today, Thursday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 1,529 points, the NASDAQ down over 1,000. And if that holds, it would be just below the record for the biggest one-day point drop in NASDAQ history. Dow Jones on pace to be among the top 5 worst point drop days for the market. Not among the top 5 in terms of percentage of value lost, but of course, the legacy media spinning this as the loss of trillions of dollars in value. It's all paper value backed by nothing. The stock markets, as I've said many times, is like investing in baseball cards, more or less, because their value on the markets has, in most cases, very little to do with the actual value on Main Street, because many of these stocks are propped up by people just speculating on future value rather than actual profit to earnings ratios. Investors, bottom line, they don't like change. When anything changes, they tend to flip out. And this is what we see resulting. It will take time for things to settle out. If you're an investor in the market, you might be looking for some bargains right now. Topic number 2, what is Trump doing? Why did President Trump do this? What is he trying to accomplish through these tariffs? There are 3 basic goals, according to economic analyst Andrew Karibko. The first, strengthen the United States supply chain sovereignty. This would be basically making sure that we make all of the components for everything that we produce here in the United States. If we're going to build cars here, let's not be buying the steel or the aluminum from China, South Africa, Thailand, wherever. Let's produce it here. We've got plants here in the United States that can and do manufacture steel, stainless steel, aluminum, things like that. If we're going to sell pharmaceuticals here, hey, let's make those here instead of buying those from China. Supply chain sovereignty. If we ever get into an armed conflict where we need to be making large quantities of armored vehicles or warships, we shouldn't be buying the steel or depending on foreign countries to supply the steel or the computer chips, the critical components needed to make those items. The second goal builds on the first, and it relates to the United States kind of nudging other countries to renegotiate their trade ties and with whom they are trading. The United States could offer discounts. Hey, look, we'll knock down those tariffs if you'll stop selling so much stuff to China or start charging China more to do business in your country. Getting other countries to distance themselves from America's main geopolitical rival in the 21st century. And the last goal is to shape the emerging world order, to which end the United States had to speed up the end of the existing world order through shock therapy, which is what Trump just applied Wednesday at the White House. Obtaining supply chain sovereignty, replacing China as the top trade partner for many of these other nations in the world. In other words, putting America first again, which is why so many oligarchs and globalists are so opposed to what President Trump is doing. He is threatening their personal incomes, but it's to the benefit of those of us who are citizens of these United States. This is why the shift to regionalism and national autonomy, national sovereignty, is being so opposed by the globalists and why they are, again, losing their minds. President Trump is destroying the world as we know it. Okay. Because the push toward globalism is driven by one thing and one thing only, and that is the ultimate rise of the Antichrist. Antichrist don't like it. Now, he will emerge someday. President Trump giving us a window of opportunity to step back from that ledge and preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Coming up, a migrant influencer has fooled around and found out. I will explain next on 5 and 10.
You can support the ministry of Skywatch TV and our continued efforts to share the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the 4 corners of the world and receive your very own copy of this urgent new work when you order They Lied to You About the Rapture special offer. Not only does this incredible opportunity include Bishop Alan DiDio's new book, They Lied to You About the Rapture, How to Prepare for What's Coming, but it also includes the best-selling book, Antichrist and the Final Solution, the chronology of the future finally unveiled by the late Dr. Thomas Horn and Terry James. This incredible book details the rise of the Antichrist along with key biblical events, including the signing of a peace treaty with Israel, the construction of a third temple, and the unfolding of the seals, trumpets, and bowls from Revelation. This masterpiece also unveils the final solution, involving the return of the Nephilim giants, the battle of Armageddon, the truth about heaven, hell, and your destiny in the coming days. But that's not all. You'll also receive Terry James' best-selling book, Nearing Midnight, as it was in the days of Lot, that pinpoints all the biblical signs leading to the true countdown to humanity's end, and the blessed hope of Christ's imminent return. Sold separately, these items hold a retail value of $60. Yours now for your donation of only $45, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for They Lied to You About the Rapture special offer now.
Item number one today. Yes, with President Trump, you fool around, you find out. A migrant influencer, by which I mean an illegal alien, by the name of Leonel Moreno, who amassed 500,000 followers on TikTok, was deported back to his homeland of Venezuela last Friday morning. He'd released a series of short videos on TikTok bragging about receiving stacks of cash from American taxpayers and urging other illegal aliens to follow his example, taking advantage of all the free money being handed out by progressives across these United States, thanking Papa Biden for all the free money that he got during the previous administration. Well, that gravy train has ended. Moreno really went over the top. I mean, posting video of himself showing wads of cash, saying, I didn't cross the Rio Grande to work like a slave. I came to the U.S. to mark my territory. Our dogs mark their territory too, and sadly, he was kind of doing it in the same fashion. Well, he was one of 178 Venezuelan deportees to arrive at the Simon Bolivar International Airport in Caracas last Friday. This confirmed by the Interior Minister of Venezuela, who added that many of the deportees on the plane were unhappy with Moreno to the point where special security measures were necessary. In other words, they were blaming him for attracting the attention of Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, being caught and put on the plane against their will, sent back to Venezuela. Well, we will be in the Ozarks at a conference that you can attend for free next weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Not just Sharon and me, but Joe Artis Horn, the host of Skywatch TV. Donna Howell, host of The Donna Howell Show. Our good friend Vicki Joy Anderson. Also, Pastor Carl Gallups, Alan DiDio, Dave Robbins of End Time Ministries. L.A. Marzulli will be weighing in via Skype or Zoom. This is the Aliens, AI, and the Antichrist Conference. Very timely these days. Again, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, April 10th through 12th. Admission is free. You can attend for free, but you do need to register because seating is limited. Do this through the website readynowexpo.com. That's readynowexpo.com. If you can't be there in person, well, then you can stream the video for just $25. Again, readynowexpo.com. Alan DiDio, by the way, is the guest on this week's main Skywatch TV broadcast. He's talking about his new book, They Lied to You About the Rapture. Don't miss the program. You can watch it right now. Our broadcast schedule, that is posted at skywatchtv.com/channels. You can watch it right now on your schedule. Just add the Skywatch TV channel to Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon Fire TV, or if you've got a smart TV preloaded with one of those systems, get the Skywatch TV channel on it. All of these videos come right to your big screen that way. You can watch us on the internet, youtube.com/@Skywatch Television. Subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, hit that like button, and rumble.com/Skywatch TV. You can also see us right now on your smartphone, tablet, handheld device, whether it's iOS, Android, Amazon Kindle Fire. We've got apps for all of those, and we've got links to their app stores at our website, skywatchtv.com/app. 5 in 10 is online. Please follow us on X, formerly Twitter, at 5_in_10, and on YouTube at 5in10. Subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, hit that like button, and thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.